Morning everyone. So I was listening to an audiobook the other day. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. If you go to my YouTube channel, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service, literally from 2020 or 2021, I made short clips about this book where I looked at the idea of self-concept, self-esteem. The book is by Dr Maxwell Maltz, and it really is just unpicking the whole idea of self-concept, how people see themselves, confidence, low self-esteem. And there are 5 in the chapter. It's called 5 Habits to Increase Positive Self-Image. So the 5 habits are to stop criticizing yourself, instead practice self-compassion and self-forgiveness. So this is obviously a big area, not only in the work that I do, but also this book is literally 10 hours long, the audiobook. So there's loads of information in there, but it's really just talking about being compassionate towards yourself, forgiving yourself, just looking at yourself in a different way. Me personally, I just feel that if you're gonna criticize yourself, when you then go out into the world, you're going to lack confidence, and then it's going to also open the door for other people to be critical of you because you're already thinking negatively about yourself. So if you can work on being accepting of yourself, it's not saying that you are perfect, but accepting your flaws, accepting the good things about yourself, then it just puts you in better stead to go out there and present yourself in a different way. So the second thing out of the book was stop planning and overthinking and be more spontaneous. So there's nothing wrong with planning. There's nothing wrong with, setting goals. I'm someone that does that as well. Overthinking, though, is something which really does affect lots of people, and it really doesn't serve any purpose. You either plan something and then you take action, or you don't plan and then you're spontaneous, which is fine as well. But when you're overthinking, all you're doing is wasting valuable energy, because if you've thought about something and you can't change it, then it's about accepting that. If you thought about something and then you want to make a plan to do it, then it's doing the plan and then executing. So overthinking is just wasting lots of time and energy. So he talks about that in his book, just be spontaneous more, take action. It becomes a habit once you practice it more. The third thing he says is speak up, speak loudly. Communication is key. So he talks about this idea of people who are quite timid, people who are just softly spoken all the time, people who allow other people to talk over them. And he says you need to learn to communicate obviously he's not saying speak loudly, meaning shouting or, in an aggressive way. But what he's saying is that you should be able to communicate clearly, and you should be someone that is, whether it's in a meeting, whether it's in a personal situation, where you are clear and succinct with your words. So you're communicating in a very strong way. So the fourth thing that he talks about is say what you feel, say what you need, express your feelings. So he's talking about, and obviously I'm just summarizing these, but in the book he goes into more depth, but he's saying that lots of people are people pleasers, is basically saying they're just doing things for other people's validation, for other people's approval. They're not really saying what they need. So you'll find this a lot when I'm doing like couples counselling, or when you see lots of things online, it's always about someone complaining about what someone else isn't doing. And then when you ask the question, have you told that person what you need? Have you expressed what you need? They'll sometimes say, well, no, that person should know, and I shouldn't have to say what I need. They should already understand that. So it is down to you as a person, and that is definitely a confidence thing, to say exactly what you need and to be clear with that, and to express your feelings, whether they're positive or negative feelings. It's still about expressing them. And the final thing is around learn to embrace failure and mistakes. So he does quite a few chapters on this, and I've also made quite a few videos around this. There's another book which is called, Learn to Love Yourself in 7 Days by Sophie Dawson. In that book, there's a whole chapter talking about, the power of failure, what you can learn from failing, embracing failure. It doesn't mean you have to be okay with failing at things, or you have to say, I'm going to be happy about making mistakes. That's not really what it's saying. It's saying that you need to learn to embrace the idea that you will fail at things. You need to accept the fact that you will make mistakes, And instead of beating yourself up about it, you just learn to accept it. It's a part of life. So those are 5 key points from the book Psycho-Cybernetics. There's no, I mean, the book, as I've said, there's so much in there that I'm not going to be able to do it in a 5-minute video. But I would recommend that you, check the book out. You can get it as a free audiobook on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic.